Yep, my people. What up, though? We back with another episode of our Therapy Thursdays, and all black men need therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
Do it, Adrian. You.
I gotta introduce myself. Wait, I gotta introduce myself now. I'm a regular.
Yeah, you're no longer a guest, man. Chief.
Hey, I appreciate the love, man. What's going on, everybody? I'm Adrian White, man. LCSW. That's the only one that really mattered.
What's the other ones? I've been meaning to ask you. What's the LCAS and CCS and?
So the LCAS is a
what is you?
Specialist.
Say it again.
Licensed clinical addiction specialist, and then certified clinical supervisor.
So you can like supervise other licensed social workers or something like that? Or
yeah, so I still got another year before so with the licenses with social work like LMFT, once they get their license, they have to have a supervisor for 2 years that they pretty much see weekly for 2 years that they would pay, and then they can become fully licensed. So my CCS, I do that for substance use clinicians. And then next year I'll be able to do it with social workers too.
That's
so
what's
that's
up,
like a whole nother little, which I love to do. Like I'm all about developing the next wave, of people.
Like mentorship. Yeah. That's what's up. Chief, we good to go on all the socials?
I believe so. Anybody on Instagram Live? We testing something new out today, y'all. So if you on IG, let me know if we're live on Instagram, because we can't tell. It's a new little joint that we doing here, so we live anyway. But fellas, what's happening, man? I'm actually excited to be back, bro. This is we need this, so I'm happy to be talking to y'all boys. But per usual, let's check on the well-being first. Bellhead, I know you coming back from vacation, so I'm gonna save you from last. Hope you got a couple good stories for us. Mr. White, check in, B.
Yo, I'm good, man. I think I'm good because I'm just doing better than I thought I would be doing.
That's always good.
We just had our daughter in October, and she was born early. She wasn't due till January. So She just came home Friday. And so I was just kind of mentally preparing for that. But I think the fact, like one of the good things that came out of it was, my wife got to heal and all of that before she actually, came home. So it hasn't been that bad of a transition for us at all. Like it's just seamless and moving. And so it's been a pleasant, surprise just in terms of my stress level and us adjusting and having to adapt in the home. So I think that's playing a huge role into why I'm just like good. Like I'm good. I feel real good.
Man, bro, first of all, congratulations, man. That's awesome. My nephew will be he'll be 5 this year, and he was born real early. So he was in the NICU for a while. So I know how tough that can be. But man, that's awesome, dude. Like, I mean, shit. I mean, what more good news do you need other than that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a blessing. That's dope, man. So shout out to you and the wife. Y'all wasn't playing around, huh? Married in the last year, baby in the last 3 months.
Not 2. So we had our son last September. So funny story. She tried to wake me up night before last. Was like, oh, can you go get baby girl a bottle? I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. And I was talking to my homeboy. He's like, you wrong. I'm like, listen, my wife home all day. I got my mom coming over to help with my son during the day. So she literally got to worry about baby girl. I work. Then I come home, I see clients, and my son now he opened doors. So when he opened the door and come out, I take care of him in the middle of the night. You got baby girl. You know what I'm saying? You got baby girl. Don't interrupt me in the middle of the night, man.
That's funny, man. That's funny. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, man.
Check in, Chief. You're muted.
I'm gonna tighten up, Chief.
Word.
You got me now?
Yep.
I said I'm good, man. I recorded another poem today. Gonna be putting that out soon. Just still working, still grinding. Got a couple of days off for the vacation right now, so I'm gonna do a lot of writing. I think I'm gonna put in some legit work days on my craft and see how it goes, man. Like legit go in there and get 6 to 8 good hours of writing and reading and just trying to, I think I'm gonna do that all during this break and really see how it feels.
What you mean? See how it goes? Like, what are you looking to
I just want to be like, because I want to see what what I get accomplished in actually making my craft a work day. Legitimately, you know what I'm saying? Like go to work, go to my office, and it's just my poetry. You know what I'm saying? Reading, writing, working on some stuff, editing some stuff, and make a day of it and just see what I get accomplished and see how I feel doing it. Get some emails out, you know what I'm saying? And really see what that looks like.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So outside of that, man, all is well. Shorty started, my big girl started track today. My big homie is skiing. And the baby
major?
Major skiing, the baby doing biddy.
Biddy, explain biddy to the people. They may not know.
Biddy basketball for the youth them. You know what I mean?
They're still on the 8-foot rims, right?
Yeah, we had to say it now. The biddy is like 6 maybe. He's 6. Oh. Yeah. So he's 5, but we had he's 6 for biddy.
True.
We do it at the joint, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, so
nevertheless,
skiing, huh?
Say what?
Major want to ski?
I told him he had to do something. He was like, I want to ski. I'm like, as long as you're doing something, I don't care.
I don't even know where one would go to like
Mount Southington. They got like a ski club.
So my first question was where one would go, and the second question was like what one would do. Is it like recreation or is it?
It's a ski. It's part of a ski club through the school.
Oh, okay, through school. Dope.
Yeah. So
that's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I just got back from Puerto Rico last night. That was a adventure. I wrote a whole which I actually, now that I think about it, I should have made that tonight's episode, but this is just as good. I had it was an odyssey getting to Puerto Rico, like the flight and all of that. My bag got left, like it was an odyssey, man. So I ended up writing it's probably gonna end up being a LinkedIn post. It's kind of long, so maybe I'll make it a LinkedIn video. I'm not sure, or maybe I'll save it for when I create my own Instagram. But anyway, it was an odyssey, but nonetheless, we got there. It was cool. My son, because I don't know if I told you, Adrian, my wife's Puerto Rican, and my son had never been to Puerto Rico. He's 3, so he took him down there. He met some of his family on his mom's side, a lot of his family on his mom's side, actually, and went to the beach. He saw that, and the thing he was most amazed by is in Puerto Rico, they got like stray horses. They just be like walking down the street, just like stray dogs. Like they just be horses just walking. So he was amazed by that. And the beach and all of that stuff. So it was a good time, man. I got down there Friday, got back last night. Another odyssey to get back. Just a whole nother story. I'm excited because I've been off since basically like Friday at 3:00. I've been off. I logged in today to get some emails taken care of, but I'm not going back to work to the 2nd. So I'm looking forward to just chilling, man, and getting prepared for the new year. I'll be in a new role next year. I'll be marketplace diversity sales manager. So I'll be doing that. So just trying to get my ducks in order over the next few days. I'll be doing some more reading. Probably my goal is to bang out 2 books by the 2nd. That's the goal, to do that. And finished up my Christmas shopping today, I believe. I finished that up. So that's it, man. I'm chilling. I'm looking forward to relaxing, getting some I'm at least have 2 days where I don't get out the bed and I'm gonna just binge watch something.
Word. Yo, before we get into today's topic, my people, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, share the joint. About to get into today's topic. But before you do that, hit the website, y'all. We got merch out. You know what I mean? Hit the website. We got merch, www.abmnt.com. Holla at my guy. Pete, shout out to my guy, Warden Pierce. Go cop you a healing crew from the website, www.abmnt.com. Anywho, today's topic. Talk to us, Bell.
So, today's topic is it's what are you really scared of? I saw this clip and it really put it in perspective. On the Top Billing podcast with Bill Bellamy, and shout out Bill. I should have texted him and told him I was going to be live tonight. But anyway, so let me just back up a little bit. So for those of you joining for the first time, first of all, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to All Black Men Need Therapy. So just to give you guys a little quick insight, we started our podcast 3 years ago, and we wanted to add some more validity to the podcast. So we created Therapy Thursdays. We're probably going on a month now. Yeah, we're definitely going on a month. We started Therapy Thursdays to interact with our supporters with the live therapists. We have Adrian White on here, and he's a LCSW, and we have him on to talk about the topics that we normally would talk about with Prentice. And Prentice is still with us, y'all. He's just Thursday's just not a good day for him.
Shout out to Prentice, who's on the grind right now, chasing that Grammy.
Yeah, so Chief and I wanted to continue the Therapy Thursdays, and we brought Adrian on. And all we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we're having our normal conversations that we have on our podcast that we drop every week with a licensed clinical social worker in this case. So tonight's topic is what are you really scared of? So I saw that, Chief, did you download the clip? Perfect. Just play it real quick.
Check this out, y'all, and let us know what you think.
We overcomplicate it because we're like, oh, this house costs this amount of money. It's still all numbers.
The biggest thing is fear.
I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Okay.
Do you think it's fear, or are people scared of the work? When I ask people, what's stopping you from getting to your goal? And everybody always say, fear, this, that. I'm like, okay, let's say we're in this building, and then in the building across from where we're at, that building was on fire. Your loved one was in that building. Mm-hmm. How many of you are going over there to save your loved one? Everybody got both hands up.
Right.
And I'm like, so you guys aren't scared of fire? Because it can kill you. So is it that you're fearful? Do you not want to do the work? Because you don't know what that fire is going to do to you. So fire can kill you, or it can save you, because fire makes heat. Money can put you in a bad position financially.
Or change your life.
Or change your life. It took me 7 years for me to be profitable when I first started in entrepreneurship.
Did you ever want to give up?
Absolutely not.
Me either.
Not. How can you be scared to fail when you're already failing?
So
go ahead.
I'm good.
You're good
shout
now.
out to Bill. Shout out to Bill Bellamy, Top Billing Podcast. This was very thought provoking, and it kind of encapsulated a thought that I've always had, but didn't know how to explain it. But what were, Adrian, that's the first time you saw that clip? So I want to hear from you guys. What and I'm gonna tell you all about, what my thoughts were after hearing it, but what was you guys' first thoughts after hearing that in terms of the fear?
I think it's something that comes natural for people who are contemplating entertaining something that they haven't done before. It's a natural fear of failure, fear of being broke, fear of maybe disappointing the people around you. But there's an overwhelming fear of just not being enough.
Adrian, what are your thoughts? Shout out to Jeff Porter, Cottondale, my guy. I see him chiming in.
So I don't think so I thought about it for me, and I looked at my own process, and I look at where I'm at, and I don't think it was fear. I think it was just, maybe it's fear, but just the unknown, right? The uncertainty when I've done things and I don't see it, right? So when you're striving for these things that you don't really see how it's done, you don't have the competence to do it. So you literally are starting at ground zero when it comes to working for something that you never had, especially when it's, not in your face, right? So I remember, even getting my career, I'm like, okay, I just want to hit, 6 figures, right? I didn't even know many people who made 6 figures. And then here I go, I got this wife and she like, nah, we're going to get to 20, 30K a month. It's not even possible in my mind. But now that I'm starting to do other things and now that I can see it, there's nothing to hold me back. So I think a lot of times we just have trouble seeing it and taking that step. And then we don't know a lot of people who are in those positions of where we're trying to get to that's willing to like guide us and help us.
100%.
And then when you factor in the fact we don't even like asking for help, we don't like being vulnerable enough to come to somebody and be like, yo, how did you do that? Can you help me, with that? So that's kind of where my mind initially went to.
No, I agree with all of that. And I got so many thoughts. And here's my theory. And it's so crazy because I actually thought he said it in a podcast or on that clip, but I just realized just now that he didn't. And I don't know if he said it on another clip that I saw or if I said it, which would be scarier if I said it for him. And how I took it, and he may have said it like this. The clip that I saw just then, it doesn't have that on there. Now I want to go back and look at the old clip, the whole clip, to see if I missed it. Anyway, here's how I look at it. When he said fear, Bill was like, a lot of people are scared, which I agree. I agree that the fear is real. Here's what I challenge, though. I challenge how much of that fear is on the not succeeding, right? Failing, right? How much of the fear is tied to failing, and how much of the fear is tied to the work associated with the success that you're trying to attain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. So I'm in staffing, right? Like I work for a staffing firm, and I've been there almost 14 years. April will be 14 years. And the question I get all the time is, Bell, why don't you just start your own staffing firm? Why don't you start your own staffing firm? Every time when people see how long I've been here, things I've done, and they hear my knowledge about this space, they always say that. And my first response is, hell no, right? Not that I don't believe I can be successful. That's not a question in my mind. I'm afraid of the work associated with building a successful staffing business. So that's my fear. Like, my fear is, damn, kind of what you said, Adrian, like we don't have anybody to guide us. And I would have somebody to guide me, but that's just like, I'm scared of the work. If I'm being honest, like I see all the stuff, all the nuanced things that occur on a day-to-day. And I'm like, if I'm building this business, that shit's going to be on me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a fear of like, can I succeed? Can I not succeed? No, the fear is in the work that's associated with being that successful. That's what my fear is. It's like, I'm afraid to go down that road because or another way to say it that can make it even more clear, I'm not willing to do that. That's another thing. So I think sometimes, go ahead.
No, I agree, but I think that's the minority, right? I think you're in a minority situation because I think you have people, and you're good either way, right? So like, you're financially stable, you're good either way. You literally don't want to do it for the work. There's people who they need to probably do something different, but they won't, just because of the fear of failure and the insecurities, and that they just don't think they will be successful. So I think that's the issue for the majority of people. Not that, hey, it's just going to be too much work.
Yeah, failure is definitely an overwhelming response for the majority of people, for sure.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to read a statistic real quick. Uh,
But wouldn't you apply failure? Wouldn't you apply a failure as a part of the process though? Isn't that how people level up and how they continue to build, is by learning from those mistakes they've made? I mean, those small failures in between.
No, it's not about. So, all right. So can we agree on this? Can we agree that anybody who can afford rent can afford a mortgage?
Yes.
Yeah. Nowadays, especially. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So, however, only 42% of people own homes, according to simplyinsurance.com. So only 42% of people own homes in the US. So, but we agree that everybody who can afford rent can afford a home. You see what I'm saying? And then
especially nowadays, because rent is shit's damn near twice as much as a mortgage.
Everything's expensive. So the other thing is, we also know that if we rent, that money's just going, that money's paying off somebody else's loan, which could be yours. You see what I'm saying? Some people, and again, I'm not speaking for everybody. Some people, I have friends and family that are just so scared of the work associated with getting to that step to get a house. They got the money, right? Man, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a cousin, right? A very close cousin of mine. He could buy a house cash if he wanted to. True story. But he just hasn't gotten it, and he wants a house. He just hasn't done the steps to get it. And it's not a money issue. It's not a knowledge issue in terms of understanding that this is the best thing for him. He is what's the word I'm looking for? He has analysis by paralysis as it pertains to starting the process. Like, he just can't get his head around, like, yo, I got to do all of this stuff. I got to do all of this. He's like, nah, it's just easier for me to rent.
Do you think people take in accountability, the responsibility that comes with home ownership? Like, it's a different ball game between renters and owning it.
1,000,000%. I agree that 100% of people in the country will not own homes, even if they all could own homes, because some people don't want that responsibility. So there is a population of people that don't want that. So I couldn't agree more. Yes, there's a population of people who don't want homes and never will want homes because they don't want that responsibility. I agree with that wholeheartedly. What I'm talking about is a population of people who can afford a home, who don't get a home due to the labor associated with that process. And that for me was where my fear was. I'll give you another example. We have a real estate investment group, me and 9 of my teammates, right? I would not have ever started that investment group on my own because of all the things associated with it that I just don't want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to do those things. I have more knowledge, or as much knowledge, about investing in homes and properties as anybody in my group. It's really only 3 of us that have all this knowledge. But I'm like, I'm not creating a Wyoming LLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to have weekly calls with no CPA. Like, I'm not having bi-monthly calls with this attorney. Like, I'm just not, I don't want to do that. But I can play my part, the part that I do want to do. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this. I'll sum up my thought and then we can keep talking. But I'll sum up my thought by saying, I believe what I believe to be true, and not for everybody, but there's a population of people that this does apply to. I believe that we confuse fear of succeeding or failing or whatever, in some cases, to the fear of the work. So it's easy for people to say, oh, I can't do that because I don't know if I'm going to get paid. Or I can't do that because I don't want to fail. But if we're being honest, some of us aren't willing to do that work. And again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm saying there's a population of people.
Right. So, Chief, Is there anything in your life that you felt like that, like you don't want to do it because of the work?
Not because of the work. Like failure is the main thing on my thing. Like right now, like I do very well when it comes to my poetry and my spoken word stuff. Like very well. You'd be hard pressed to find. Like I'm not boastful about it. I'm not always posting what's going on, but like I've gotten some pretty significant checks over the past year because of the poetry. People ask me all the time, and I'm always like, "Yeah, I'm this close to quitting my job and doing it full time." This cat's been on my heels for the longest about me doing it, but I haven't pulled the trigger because I'm afraid of falling short financially and not being able to do what I need to do for my children and so on and so forth. And that I keep letting that kick me in the ass when actuality is I'm pretty certain I'll be fine.
So let me ask you this though, Bell, then for you.
Wait. Before you get to me, because I got something to say about
Jesus,
cheat.
this nigga.
I'm trying to restrain myself. I just
Get him.
So this is a great example. Thank you for this content, good brother Michael Chief Peterson. You started the check-in by saying what?
Recorded a poem today.
Okay. And what are you going to do on your break?
I'm going to work on I'm going to put some work days in on my craft.
When's the last time you put a work day in on your craft?
Like an 8-hour work day? I don't think I've ever put an 8-hour work day in on my craft.
Okay. How long you been in the craft?
Long enough.
15 years? Easy?
Yeah.
So I ask, is it fear of failing or fear of the work associated with it?
It's not the work, because even with me not dedicating an 8-hour day to it, I get work done. You've seen the product of my work.
But just hear me out, brother. Hear me out. You say you're this close to leaving your job, and in the same breath, you have never put an 8-hour workday in. I'm not talking about the result. I'm not talking about what you've done, your accolades. We all know that. I'm talking about what it will take for you to go full time. If this is what you say you want, and this is what I'm saying. Wait.
Adrian, tell this nigga, man.
I'm fighting for my life.
No, man, listen. This is my point. Like, I can't believe you just walked into that like that. Like, this is easy. Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. You're saying you're scared of failing, but the truth is, if we're being honest, and I feel like we can be honest,
of course,
you haven't started. That's the truth.
That's also not the truth, though, bro.
Isn't? You work 8 hours at your job?
That's a trick question. Because no, nigga.
Okay,
hey, Bell.
Cool. You don't work. No, bro, you did it to yourself, man. I had no intentions to make you the topic. I promise you that.
Everything in my spirit says that's a lie.
No, I swear to God, this was going to be about me. I swear to God. Go ahead, Adrian. Chime in.
To Bell's point too. Then I'm wondering, because your normal job is good and it provides the security, are you fearful of the work in terms of what it would look, how much work you would possibly have to put in full time to do it, to make sure what you're doing with the poetry is sustainable, right? Because it's not an automatic check like you kind of get now.
Yeah, but I've been with the opportunities that I've been able to garner just because of the little bit of reputation that I have. A poetry check is equivalent to a month's of work. You know what I'm saying? If I can,
you're gonna keep walking into this, huh? You're gonna keep walking into this. You're gonna keep.
Yeah, because hold on though, right quick. Because then my question is, so if you already got the proof,
talk to him.
You want to do. What's holding you up then? It can't be fear of failure because you already succeeding in it.
This nigga here, I get it, and I hear.
No, I want to know though. I don't care if you get it. I want the answer.
Talk to him, Adrian.
Because I'm really curious now. Like, Okay, so you got the evidence that this is gonna work.
Mm.
Proof's been in the pudding 4 years. So how can you even think that like, oh, I might fail if you've already seen the evidence?
I don't think it's the failure thing, yo. I'm really attached to like. I'm also attached to what I do. Like I really do love what I do, bro.
Okay.
All right.
Do I not? You trying to you gonna sit and tell me I don't love what I do and the impact I'm able to have on these kids?
All right.
Is that a safe answer though, Chief? Too, you know what I'm saying?
I can get him, Adrian. I can clear this up real quick.
Clear it up, man. Clear it up.
I don't like doing this, bro. I don't like doing. I don't want to be in this position right now because it feels.
We here now.
All right, let me have a conversation with you real quick.
Oh,
I know you attached. I know you attached to what you do. I know why you're attached to what you do. I know the impact that you make on those kids in that community. Are you attached to that more than the time with your own kids? No. Okay, so we got that cleared up. So if there was an opportunity for you to make more money and spend more time with your kids, would the impact that you make on your day-to-day job matter? No. Okay. So can we agree that that's not a real reason?
No. We can't agree on that. It may not be the strongest reason, but it's definitely a real reason.
Let me ask it a different way. Are you of the mind that you're the only one that can help and impact those kids that you work with every day?
No.
So there's somebody else that can do what you're doing.
In their regard, not as good as I can do it, but yeah, yes.
Okay, that's ego talking, right? But the reality is, yes, there will be another Chief Peterson after you, and there's been Chief Petersons before you, because if there weren't, you wouldn't be here right now having this conversation with me. Okay? Now, here's my other question. See, lost my train of thought. Wait, I'm gonna get it. Don't say anything.
Y'all see how these niggas do me, B?
Who? So we agree that there's somebody that can do what you do in the school. Who can do what you do for your family?
Me.
Only you. Right? So
right.
Bro, all I'm doing is having the same conversation that somebody had with me when I left the high school 14, 15 years ago, whatever it was, September 2008. How many ever years that is? Do the math. 15, I think. But that's what I'm saying. So, bro, it's not fear of failing, because like Adrian just said, the proof is in the pudding. You've already been successful. This is what I'm saying. So I'm honest with myself. That's one thing about me. I am not saying you're not. I'm saying I am extremely self-aware. I know what I don't want to do. I know what I'm willing to do and what I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to run an investment company by myself, real estate investment company by myself. I'm not willing to stand up a staffing firm by myself. Even though I know I can be very successful, I'm afraid of the work associated with doing that. And all I'm saying is, when we can have honest conversations with ourselves, forget anybody else, that's where the real change can come in. Because I don't think it's a fear of not making enough money. I don't believe that. You could believe it. I don't believe it. Because you've already made enough money. Enough, right? So when you say, well, I've done this, I've made these checks that's good for a month. My question to you is, how much would you make if you had 100% dedicated time to it?
I agree.
Right? So it's not that you can't make money. Maybe it's unknown, right? Maybe, just maybe. I'm not saying it is. Maybe you don't know if you can do the work it takes. Maybe. And that's what I'm saying. There's a population of people that applies to. I'm not saying that you are in that population. I am in that population as it pertains to certain things. And if we're being honest with ourselves as adults, we probably fall into that category more than we like to believe. But we don't. Nobody wants to be told. They're the problem.
Ooh, you know what? I just had a thought. Could it be, Chief? Right? Because again, I'm not saying it's exactly what Bell is, but it's definitely
But kinda.
not the fear of the money, right? But no. But I
kinda.
wonder, could it be that you're in love with your story, right? Meaning,
Now we getting
dad
somewhere.
takes care of the kids. I mean, dad who super involved with his own children, works at a school giving back, and does poetry on the side. You a superhero. You know what I'm saying? And so
He said it, not me.
With that story, that you don't want to step out and even risk doing a whole nother story.
Identity.
I'm still gonna be the superhero in that regard, though.
Then what's stopping you?
So basically, what you're saying is,
Be scared. Don't be scared.
I'm saying there's something that, and again, I can say the same thing about myself, which I have. You know, certain things. There's just certain things. I'm just,
A bullshit?
you know, like I don't know, man. I guess I didn't even. I mean, shit. I got all these questions. I didn't even start talking about the questions. We haven't been able to get off you because you realize it or believe it, or even it may not even be true. But there's certain aspects of your story that falls into that category that I just described, and that's just
he's not that funny.
nah. She know. But I don't know, man. Like I promise you, I did not. This is not. There's nights that I be getting at you, but this wasn't one of them. That's what I could tell you. At least that wasn't my intention. And that's just
Why you always lying?
Hey, who's lying though? Who's lying?
Hey, Mr. White. As soon as I saw the topic, I knew he was coming for me.
Yo, I swear to God.
Oh my God! Stop fucking lying.
Yo, I promise I was not, man. Like I would have told you. I would have like. In fact, there was one episode that we never released that I did get at you, and I was like, "Let's not release that," because I'm like, "That's not." I don't want to get at you. It's like it'd be easy for me to get at you on this topic.
A bullshit?
Promise, man. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like I was not trying to get at you. I honestly wanted to hear. In fact, my next question was, Adrian, do you see this in your clients or yourself? Like that was my next question. It had nothing to do with Chief. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it. This topic was real to me, which is why I wrote the treatment for it. It has nothing to do with you. It's more about me and what I'm willing to do and not willing to do, and being honest about that, because I'm as confident as anybody. You know what I'm saying? It don't nothing I don't believe I can do, but there's certain things that I know I'm not willing to do, and that's where the honesty has to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like just not willing to do it. So as a result, I'm not going to be as good as I. Let me ask you this, Adrian. What is it called? I'll put it back on myself. It was an easy out for me when I didn't get drafted to say that, to make to draw a comparison to Walter Reyes, rest in peace. Walter Reyes was a Heisman candidate. I'm like, Walter Reyes didn't get drafted, right? So, like, if he's not getting drafted as a Heisman candidate, how am I going to get drafted? Like that for me was like my scapegoat. When the truth is, again, when we get to the truth, and it took me some time to get there, but when I finally got to the truth was, in reality, Bell, you wasn't good enough. That's the truth. And I think sometimes people say, no, I'm afraid to fail. Yeah, you may be. I don't doubt you are. We all are at some level. But what else is there that you're afraid of? You know what I'm saying? So it's an and. It's not like you're either afraid to fail or you're afraid of the work. No, it's an and. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't good enough, but I was telling myself that, nah, you are good enough. Look at everybody else. Like I put because that's easy. That's people won't argue that. If somebody says, Chief, oh yeah, no, I get it. You make good money. I can see why you don't want to leave and risk that. Yeah, that's an easy out. Right. But when you start peeling back the layers, how many 8-hour days have you done? How many 6-hour days have you done? How many 4-hour days have you done? Oh, you haven't even started the process. And that's where I had to go. It's like, yo, how many workouts after the workout did you do? You know what I'm saying? How many weekends did you work out? How many times did you work out when you weren't told to work out? Right? That's where the real conversation comes in. And that's when I was like, yo, the 2 dudes on my team that did get drafted, I wasn't doing what they was doing. You see what I'm saying? I wrote a whole LinkedIn article about it. Shout out to Dan Orlovsky and Alfred Fincher. They were staying after the workout. They were working out on Saturdays. I wasn't doing that. But it was easier for me to be like, nah, running backs just wasn't getting drafted like that. But when I could have a conversation with somebody who played with me, and they know, yeah, you good enough to go, Bell, but you wasn't good enough to be drafted. You might have got a look, but you wasn't good enough to be drafted. And that's just the reality. But until I was able to have that conversation with myself, I couldn't come to that conclusion. And all I'm saying is when we keep pegging something as the reason, we got to ask ourselves a couple more questions, because that may not be the real reason. That may be the public reason. That may be the reason to get people off your back. Right? Yeah, Walter Reyes didn't get drafted. That was my scapegoat. What's your scapegoat? Your as in the what's that word? The not real.
But then my question to Chief would be then, is that something you would even want to do full time, like the poetry and the
Great question,
right? Because even with what you're saying too, Bell, right? Okay, my fear is the work. Is that even always a bad thing, right? So like the example you use with the investment thing, like, yeah, it's because I'm afraid of the work, but it's also something you don't really want bad enough, because if you did, do you think the work would stop you then? Like how you wanted to be successful. You want it bad enough, will the work stop you? Or has that been your case? Anything?
No, the work. So to answer your question, if I wanted, no, the work would not stop me at all. I don't fear the work.
No. I asked 2 questions. My bad. The second part was for Bell, but for you, Chief, my question is, do you want to do like poetry and traveling like full time?
Yeah, I would love to.
I don't know now, Chief. You got me. Because so you want to do it, you would love to do it, and it's not the work. Yeah, I need to know why. If you're saying it's not, because it's not the fear of the income, because you got evidence of that, and it's not the work, I need to know what it is.
Well, I'm gonna have to dig deep, figure out what the real reason is.
Dig deep.
Okay, see, thank you. That's progress. Now I feel like that's honesty. And I know you pissed at me, but I promise this wasn't about you, yo.
What movie? Shut up. I gotta find it. I'm putting it in here.
What was your question for me, Adrian?
So then my question for you, Bell, is, has there been something that you like wanted and you didn't go after it because of the work piece? Like, it would be too much for me to go for it though, even though I want this thing.
That's a good question. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I'm answering correctly?
All right. Has there been anything that you wanted but you didn't do because you were afraid to put the work in to get it?
Okay. Yes, I can answer that question with another, what I believe to be a good example. But it wasn't about not putting the work in, and I'll explain. So to answer your question, it was to become a director in my company. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a director in the company, and I knew that from day one. And so the way it works is you are Hey, my guy. Shout out to my man Donnell. It was to be a director of my company. And the way it works is any promotion, I would imagine the work is already done. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do the work to be considered in the conversation. And I'll never forget this. Shout out to my guy Warren. Warren was a black dude in my company, and I didn't know him well at the time. But at the time in my company, there may have been only a couple black directors, right? And my man Warren at that time was the number one producer in the whole company, like by a lot. Like this motherfucker was personally producing more than some offices, you know what I'm saying? Like by himself. And he interviewed 5 times for a director role before he got it. So I'm like, if he can't get a job, you know what I'm saying? And he's better than me. There ain't no two ways about that. Like it ain't up for debate. Like he is that guy. I'm like, is it worth it? So that was the conversation I had to have about that in particular. And I told my director at the time, I was like, yo, the director role is just not for me. Because if somebody like that can't get a job, and hey, I shouldn't have been comparing myself, right? But at the end of the day, I'm human. So I'm looking at what the reality is. I'm looking at the people that look like me in this role. Then I'm looking at the best we got, period. The best we got. And he interviewed 5 times. So I'm like, oh, I just have to do something else. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was afraid to do the work. I didn't think that the work was sufficient enough. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing that I can compare that to. So I switched paths. I'm like, oh no, this just ain't for me. And that's cool. I can go be successful in this company in another role and be happy. And I was cool with that because I didn't allow that title to become like my identity. Like, oh, if you don't get the title, then you ain't good. No, I'm good, bro. I'm making money. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing I would equate that to, because I did want that bad. And at the time I didn't have the work, enough work put in yet. And then when I saw that happen, I'm like, I got discouraged, to be honest, because I'm like, I don't have a snowball chance in hell if I'm being real. And then some things changed in the company, and I did certain things and stuff like that. But that might be the only thing that would be an apples to apples to your question. But that's a good question though.
Gotcha.
For sure. I wanted to tackle this joint that Donnell had posted, and he asks, if it becomes my main thing and my fear, and I might lose the passion for it. And I don't think that's it, because this is something.
Wait, hold on. Chief, is the fear that it becomes your main source of income that you might lose the passion in the craft? In short, because you would need to eat, you may not be as successful. I think that may be deeper than we're giving it credit for, that question.
No, for sure. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, it's always been something I was passionate about, and I don't think dedicating more of my time to it would make me less passionate about it.
Well, I'm gonna say this though, Chief. You got to spend more time on it, so you don't know. That could be it, right? So be open. That's all. That's my only advice to you is, as you go forward, since you don't know what it is, be open to all of the different things as you sit in and exploring, man. And you got some time off, so you might write a poem about it.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Write a poem about it.
Ooh.
That's what I'm not about that, but that's what I plan on doing, is taking this time off to write. But I mean, I've put in 4-hour days and so on and so forth, but like a legit work day where, you know what I'm saying, I schedule it out. That's what I've been doing lately too. Been mapping my days out, like writing them down the night before and really trying to like follow a schedule. And it's been working.
Yo, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Now that I think about that question a little bit more, Adrian. So there was a shakeup in our company, like I told you guys about, and so here's a fear of mine. Here's what I know, right? I have a lot, as my wife would say, I'm multi-passionate, and I have like my man from Liam Nielsen, I have a particular set of skills, right? Like I know what I can do. Like I know from a leadership standpoint. I know from an entrepreneurial standpoint, I know I'll be all right. And there's a part of me that I'm like, yo, nobody, and this is a conversation for you too, Chief, but one that I have currently with myself, is nobody's going to value me more than me. Right? Period. Nobody's going to value me more than me. So, which means, i.e., nobody's going to pay me as much as I would pay myself. Nobody's going to dedicate as much time to me as I would dedicate to myself. And no one's going to see me where I could potentially see myself. Or they may not see me where I could potentially see myself. So all of that being said, I toy with the idea of, this is me being real honest, I toy with the idea of becoming self-employed. Now, what I wanted to do, I was still, I wasn't really, I had an idea, but not narrowed down, but I knew I could make money. I wasn't necessarily worried about surviving, but here's where it gets interesting. This is where I got hung up. I'm like, yo, and this is it's a quandary, right? So I'm like, yo, because my wife she's an attorney and she's going to resign probably in the next 12 months, no more than the next 12 months, and be a full-time coach. And I'm like, yo, how we both going to be 1099? Like in my mind, I'm like, how we both going to be 1099? I'm like, and this is where I got stuck. I'm like, one of us has to have something consistent coming in. You know what I'm saying? But then in the same breath, I'm like, the top 1% don't work for nobody. You see what I'm saying? The top 1% don't work for nobody. And if I want to be in the top 1%, I got to work for myself, or I got to build a corporation. But I'm afraid to lose the stability in having one of us working full time. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's where, again, I just got real. And it's just like, do I really want to be self-employed that bad? And right now I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be self-employed that bad. Now, I do have other passions that I will most likely pursue. But I'm not ready to do that yet full time. But that's just me being honest. You know what I'm saying? That's me being honest. Like, I don't, now I know myself. If these areas that I want to focus in on a self-employed journey, if I would have even made collectively 50,000 from any of them, it would make that decision real tough, because I am a risk taker. Like, I take risks on myself, calculated risk, but on myself. And if I would have made that much money, I'd have been like, again, what could I do full time? If I did this part time, what could I do full time? When I left the high school in September 2008, I had 2 months, that I made more money in my part time job than I did in my full time job, and had some money saved. That was enough. I'm like, well, I did it twice, so I can do this 12 times. Now, it didn't work out like that, but if I not taken that risk, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today. You see what I'm saying? So, but because of all of that, I can be that honest with myself. And I think that's the thing. It's like, what are we scared of? Sometimes we're scared to tell ourselves the truth, if we being honest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's a good point. And you know what, Chief, I'm gonna put this on both of us, man. We got till 2024 to jump out there and to the end of next year to do it, because my fear is the stability piece too. And I feel like I have so many reasons to justify why, hey, you don't have to jump all the way out the window, right? One, hey, you do well just doing therapy and coaching part-time, right? But you got the 2 little kids, you got the huge blended family, and my wife, she don't work, but she capable of making the bread. Like, she did the website, she writes books, like, she's everything that I'm not. So I know together it'll boom. But it's like, nigga, with all these kids you got, you literally about to walk away from what you get, and that's guaranteed. Like, that's not even responsible. And so that is like my holdup, right? Even when I think about they need insurance, you can jump on the little government website and get y'all insurance. You literally
some Obamacare,
right? So it's like, what are you afraid of? What is it is it the work? It absolutely could possibly be the work, right? So I ain't gonna leave you out there on that island, Chief. I'm gonna do some thinking too, man. I'm gonna do some thinking. Cause my wife already hit me with last week. Hey, what you gonna do when God tell you leave that job? I'm like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? We just now building. We ain't even near yet. You always try to take a mile. Let's just chill.
And in everybody's defense, just so we all are clear, everybody's listening. Here's a statistic for you. Starting a small business is not easy, and many entrepreneurs face significant challenges. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, approximately 20% of small businesses fail within their first year. The failure rate increases to 30% by the end of the second year, 50% by the fifth year, and 70% by the 10th year. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is real. This is not like something that we're conjuring up. Like, those are real facts. So it makes sense. You know, it makes sense.
Definitely makes sense. Yo, this was we winding down. Do you have anything else, Bell? Mr. White? We walking right up on that hour, and we like to keep it concise. So I think this is
any questions you want to that we didn't get to?
Nothing in there. Anybody, do me a favor. If you're watching right now, you're still tapped in, go ahead and hit that like button one time. As my man Hemp will say, the likes help the channel the most. Shout out to the This Might Be Risky podcast. Give us a like or two right now if you're watching. It ain't but a second. Bang, click it one time for the one time. Any questions you guys have for LCSW, Adrian White, myself, or Bell? Take that moment to get them in real quick before we slide on you. You dig? I think I'm gonna go ahead and give my my final thought first if any of the questions come in. If you're on our Instagram, y'all, we haven't quite figured out how to. Instagram doesn't go to the server we're using, so you have to be on our YouTube in order to ask the questions. But Instagram is just another way for us to get you guys tapped into the live. I think one thing I've always been extremely grateful for, proud of, and selfish with is my friendships. And, it's important that you have people around you who will call you on your bullshit, hold you accountable, and not let you get away with that bullshit. And I got a tight circle of people around me who do that. And at the end of this, I'll sit back and I'll reflect and I'll process some of this shit and, move in a better direction. But if you don't have these people around you who are pushing you and pushing you to grow comfortable in the uncomfortable, then do they really love you like that? Or just gonna let your real people don't let you slide? You dig what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all boys, man. And I think that's my gem and my final thought for today. Mr. White.
Nah, yeah, that was good, man. And I guess to piggyback off of that, never stop exploring, right? Because you got us up here, we successful, but we still exploring different things. Hey, what is the reason for this? Don't never think you've arrived or, that you've already finished or that can't nobody tell you anything, right? So always make sure we're taking the time to either look within, do it yourself. But like Chief was saying, make sure you got that circle too, that when they tell you something, even if you don't agree, they know you enough and you trust them enough to where you're at least going to go sit back, and reflect on it. So.
I think my final thought is I don't really have one now that I think about it, but if I had to come up with one, the most important person you can have the conversation with is yourself. That's what I'll say. It's the most important person you got a conversation with because like my old mentor used to tell me, I don't care what you tell me. What matters is what you tell yourself. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got a story that we know deep, deep down. It was like, nah, you could do more or you could do better. Or you weren't it. You know, we all have that story because that's just reality. You know, we're not always going to be the best. We're not always going to get what we want. And the sooner we can have the real conversation with ourselves about why that is, that's when the change can happen, right? Like a doctor can't subscribe where he can't diagnose. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go in there, you tell him all this, you tell him all that, and he never gives you the proper diagnosis, he's never going to give you the proper subscription to fix it. And if we can't give ourselves a proper diagnosis, we'll never have a solution to fix it. We'll keep playing this game. And the people who are around us, to Chief's point, depending where they fall, may or may not challenge us. So we can keep that story going. So that's so I guess I did have a final thought. So yeah, that's all I got.
For sure. Hey, listen, man, we truly appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm not sure how the Instagram went today, my people, so please shoot us a DM. Let us know if it was clear, because it's blurry. Every time I click to the page, it's blurry. We're not moving. It looks frozen. So let me know if it went through on the Instagram live so we can go ahead and adjust and figure it out for next time. We back next Thursday, hopefully same time, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. Yo, we have merch. We got a clothing line. You dig what I'm saying? Go get you some All Black Men Need Therapy gear. Shout out to my man, Mr. King. You dig what I'm saying?
That I had on, but everything else you can get. Actually, it still is.
abmnt.com, allblackmenneedtherapy.com. You got any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns? You feeling some type of way? Hit us up on our voice line, y'all. 860-410-6160. We got our man, Mr. LCSW, Adrian White. acceleratedelevation.com. Hit him up, and if you need some counseling, some coaching, he's the guy. He's here for us, and he's here for you too. Per usual, I think the main message that we wanna send out today for you all in simple terms.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Y'all do what y'all do, man. Do us all a favor. Hug a black man today.
And tomorrow.
You're supposed to say do it.
I'll do it.
And tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all.
Peace.